Hello everybody, my name's Johnny and I'd like to show you some of my model trains. Here's the first one. Obviously you can't say most of it, but I'll tell you anyway. This is my locomotive Western Invader. It's a Hornby Western class hydraulic diesel locomotive that was made in 1962 by Loughborough Works in England. Not many of these locomotives were preserved. There's only 7 out of 100 that are left, but this is a 12mm to the foot scale version of the original. It's a beautiful locomotive. It works fine. I had it tested and it runs beautifully, so now it works, and I'll pick it up and show you a few bits and pieces on it. So you can see some of the front detail in it, like the buffers and the handrails and stuff, and I'll try and bring it in a little bit. It's weathered as well, so it's a weathered look, and you can see some of the detailed grills and all that sort of thing. And if you have a look underneath, you can see some of the motor as well, like on this one here there's the motors in there, and this is a dummy one, that's where all the power goes to the motor from. But yeah, it's just a nice locomotive. I bought it relatively cheap. It was $160 down to 30 in Birchall's. They had a big sale on, so I bought it and saw it, so I thought I'd grab it. Okay. Next one. He's only a tiny little bugger. This is my N-Gauge Bachmann 280, or it was originally a 282 Mikado, but it's a 280 consolidation for the time being. It's an N-Gauge replica of this typical type of locomotive that was probably made around about the 1920s onwards. But this is a 9mm to the foot scale version of it. It runs relatively well, although I've had a few problems in the past with rods and stuff, but we've sorted all that out now. It runs pretty good. And I don't know how many of those things were made, but I know they were probably made around about the 1920s and so on. But I'll let you know in the next film how I go, and I'll let you know the actual when it was actually made. I only know a brief bit about it, but you'll see it in action on the layout once I do the videos on them. I'll roll on to my next one. Sorry I'm taking so long, but yeah, it's all good stuff, and yeah. Well, here's my Flying Scotsman, only the front half, and yeah. This locomotive was built in 1923 at the London and North Eastern Railway workshops at Doncaster by Sir Nigel Gresley and Co. Also, this is a 12mm to the foot scale version of the famous Flying Scotsman. Only one class of this locomotive survived. Most of them got scrapped, but there are still spares around for some, but they use them on this. And this is a 12mm to the foot the scale, like I just said. But yeah, it's a good engine. We've had problems with it as well, but it runs beautifully now, and it's a real nice model replica of it. And it's still stood the test of time. I got it for a birthday a fair few years back. It was for my 10th birthday, and it was a complete set. It come with the carriages and all that sort of thing, plus the track controller. It was basically just a big set. It was $370 odd worth, and I got it for, it was for 270, but it's a good train set. So I'll pick it up and show you some of the stuff. I'll show you the tender first. This is not a really high detailed locomotive on the back, but I can show you what I've done to the front. See the metal buffers and stuff there, they're not the original ones, but they're made out of some type of metal stuff, but I've put them on there off another engine that probably won't ever run again, but I've got to get a new chassis and all that sort of thing for it, so I'll put another motor buggy under this and put the buffers on it, and you can see the LNER logo and all that sort of thing on the side, and all the lining and little handrails just on the sides here. But they're only moulded on there, they're not detailed, but they sort of are. But anyway, moving on to the front half of the locomotive. This is the front half of the locomotive. Obviously this is not real good tail either. It looks pretty much close to the original, but with these new ones you can actually get super detailed gear on them now, but I probably will have to change it over to super detailed gear if the valve gear and all that sort of thing stuffs up in it, but it's proving to be pretty good at the moment. I'll turn to the front. As you can see, I've put the buffers on the front as well, and it's got a vacuum brake hose on there, so if it runs backwards it can just hook the pipe up to the coaches as well for their braking system, so when it pulls up it can pull the carriages up with it, and it'll pull the brakes in the carriages and all that sort of thing. And this is not the motor half of the locomotive. The motor is actually in the tender, but I can show you all the bearings and screws and all that sort of thing underneath. It's had a major rebuild just recently, and it's got a new drawbar and all that sort of stuff on it. So yes, anyway, thank you for listening to my video, and I will hopefully see you in my new videos of the model railways when I get around to getting them finished. So thank you for listening, and have a good day now. Bye.